Okay, credit. These are some terms you need to use, Shelby. Hope your break was good. Credit. Here's the definition. I have to use credit when I don't have enough money to buy something. It's called paying on credit. Now, another term you need to know is down payment. Down payment's the amount of money I pay if I can only afford to buy part of the amount, but not all. So let's look at example one. I want to buy a car for $12,000. I only have $3,000. How much money do I need to borrow for credit? Okay. So a couple things I want you to analyze here. I want you to analyze the cost first. How much a car costs? $12,000. Now the next thing I want you to analyze is my down payment. Okay. My down payment, how much can I pay? How much do I have? I have $3,000, so that can be my down payment. Okay, now to find out how much money I need to borrow for credit, I need to take the cost because I don't have $12,000. Okay, I can't pay all $12,000. So what I need to do then to borrow for credit is take $12,000, because that's how much it costs, minus $3,000, and that's $9,000. Now here's what I want you to write. That's the answer, but I want you to write $9,000 borrowed on credit. Okay. Now we are going to eventually pay the $9,000, but that's how much I got to borrow. Okay, example 2. I want to buy a house for $70,000. I only have $25,000. How much money do I need to borrow for credit? So the cost of our item is $70,000. Okay, and then the down payment is how much I have. That's how much I can pay. I don't have enough money to pay $70,000, but the down payment's how much I can pay. I can pay $25,000. Okay, so it costs that much. I have this much. So how much money do I need to come up with to borrow? Gee, I wish somebody'd give it to me, but they're not going to. Okay, I have to borrow. It means I'm going to pay it back. Okay, but I have to borrow it. To borrow something means, so I'm going to put when you borrow, you give it back. You'll be giving it back, but it'll be at a different time. You give it back at a later time. Okay, so 70,000 minus 25,000 is 45,000. And again, that's my answer. Borrowed on credit. Okay. Okay, now credit interest, an amount I need to pay in addition to the amount borrowed on credit. Now, example 3 says I want to buy a car for $15,000. I can only make a down payment of $5,000. The interest rate is 5%. How much money will I have to repay? So the cost is $15,000. Now, do I have $15,000? No, I have $5,000, so that's my down payment is $5,000. Okay, so we're going to have to borrow money, okay? Have to borrow. Okay, how much do I have to borrow? Well, I take the cost of the thing I just bought, which was a car for $15,000, and subtract $5,000. Okay, and that's $10,000 borrowed on credit. But there's an interest amount, 5%, and credit interest amount I need to pay in addition to the amount borrowed on credit. So I need to add, okay? And what do I need to add, okay? I need to find the money I need to add, because when I pay this amount, this is like a thank you, okay? Credit interest is a thank you payment for helping me buy the car or the house. Those are the two most common things you buy on credit, on the car or the house. Okay, so how much is this thank you amount? Okay, well, all it says is 5%. Okay, well, it's 5% of $10,000. So I need to find out how much, because I have to pay $10,000 and then plus 5% of $10,000. So I divide the 5 by 100 and then times, okay, times 10,000, so $500, okay. Okay, add these and that's how much I pay. Okay, so 10,000 plus 500, and that's $10,500. Repaid. Okay. Okay, now I want to buy a house for $60,000. I can only make a down payment of $10,000. The interest rate's 7%. How much money will I have to repay? Okay, so cost, and my cost is $60,000. Now, how much money do I have? Because how much money I'm going to have, that's how much I can pay. $10,000. So I don't have $60,000. I only have $10,000. So I have to borrow. Okay, so I need to find out how much I have to borrow on credit. Okay, $60,000 minus $10,000 is $50,000. Now that's the amount borrowed on credit. Okay, so nice, borrowed on $50,000 borrowed on credit plus the interest. Okay, so there's another amount here, but the problem is it's not money, it's percent, and it's 7% of $50,000. It's of the borrowed on credit amount. Okay, so I divide 7 by 100, 0.07, and then I multiply by 50,000. 33,500. Okay. Okay, and that's how much is going to be repaid. So 50,000 plus 3,500, 53,500 repaid. Because you borrow that on credit, but then you pay more because of the interest. Okay. Okay, now, most of the time when I repay them, I make a monthly payment. Monthly means every month I pay a little bit of money back, not all at once. Okay. Okay, now, example 5, a car costs $15,000. I can afford to pay $3,000 right now. I borrow the rest on credit with a 5% interest rate. If I have 3 years to pay off the amount, what is my monthly payment? Okay, So again, I want to know my monthly payment. That means every month, how much do I pay every single month is what monthly payment means. Like in January, how much do I have to pay? February, March, April. It's the same amount. I just got to figure out how much that is because I have to write that check every month. If I don't write it, I'm in trouble, okay? I got to know what I need to write as a check every month to the people who let me borrow the money. Okay, so what's the cost? The cost is $15,000. Okay, the down payment is how much money I have. So I have $3,000 right now. Okay, so again, I have to borrow. So I take 15,000 and I can subtract 3,000 because I have already paid 3,000. 3,000. Okay, and that's 12,000. I'm going to put borrowed on credit. Okay. Now there's also an interest. Okay. So I have to find another money amount because I need to find how much interest. Okay. We have to pay interest. So to find the interest, okay, I have 5%. Okay. So I need to find what 5% of $12,000 is. So I divide by 100 and then multiply. Hit equals, then multiply by 12,000. That's how you find 5% of 12,000. Okay, $600. So that's $12,600. Now, again, not all at once, okay? You're not going to pay this all at once. You're going to pay a little bit of money back each month. So you're dividing it up then by how many months you have, okay? But I need to figure out how many months I have here. Now, we have 3 years here to pay this loan, okay? Now, there's 12 months in a year, okay? 12. So I have 3 years, so I have to pay every month for 12 months 1 year, okay? And then another year. And then another year, okay? 1, 2, 3. So 12 times 3 is 36, okay? So that's how many months we have, okay? 36. So I take the $12,600 divided by 36, and I get $350 as my monthly payment. Okay, example 6. A house costs $60,000. I can afford to pay $15,000 right now. I borrow the rest on credit with a 3% interest rate. I have 25 years to pay off the amount. What's my monthly payment? So again, monthly payment. Okay, now, again, the cost. The cost of the house is $60,000. And then the down payment. Down payment is $15,000. Okay, so I can't pay enough. I have to borrow. And to find out how much I have to borrow, I just simply take how much this house cost minus what I'm going to pay, because I can't pay enough. So it's $60,000 minus $15,000, and that gives me $45,000. Okay, now we do have interest. Okay, so plus money, and this money amount here is interest. Okay, so to find how much money that is, I know I'm paying 3%. So I got to pay 3% of $45,000. Okay, So again, to find a percent of a number, you divide it by 100, because it's out of 100, times 45,000. 1,350. And that ends up being 46,350. But again, you don't pay it all at once. Every month I pay a little bit of the money back, okay? So I need to divide this in by how many months we have, okay? Now we have 25 years. Now up here you had 3 years, so 12, 12, 12. But I don't want to write 25 12s, okay? So we know that 12, 12, 12 is the same as 12 times 3. So if I have 25 years, I don't want to write 12 out 25 times and have to add 25 12s together. That's too much work. So that's why they have multiplication. Multiply by 12, okay? Because there's 12 months in a year, okay? So 25 times 12, and I have 300 months to pay this off. So 46,350 divided by 300, $154.50. Okay, now you have practice on your own. Now again, the first two problems, you're just finding how much money you need to borrow, okay, on credit. That's easy. Now you're taking a step further. You want to find out how much you borrow on credit, but then you have interest, okay? 3% of how much you borrow to add. Now the next one's a step further. You're figuring out your monthly payment, okay? So again, we'll have to find out how much we need to borrow and then add the interest to it and then divide by how many months we have. Remember, 3 years. Here it's 20 years. You could add 12, 12, 12 there, but probably not here, okay?